Hello and welcome back to the new video. Today I fly the Tormentor. More specifically, I fly the Beam Tormentor. Dual web Beam Tormentor. I have 3 small focused beam lasers, an afterburner, 2 webs, Ancil armor wrapper, a multispectrum coating, heatsink, and a damage control. 2 armor rigs, 1 explosive and 1 kinetic, and a T2 damage rig. I have about 190 DPS. If I overheat, I get 217. Okay speed, and the double web compensates for the bit lower speed than the normal frigate. The Ancil is okay amount of tank with some nice buffer. Good straight up resistances because of the coating, damage control, and the 2 rigs. And of course I have drones, nanites, and 2 different ammo types. In total, this fit is a bit more expensive than my usual ships, because altogether the T2 rig and the weapons are pretty expensive, but still it's only 10 million. And I had a lot of fun flying this ship. Usually I don't like lasers, but this really was a lot of fun. And you see up here 6 kill marks just on this ship. It was a lot of fun. And I also like how it looks. A friend of mine always calls it evil shrimp, because here you have 2 eyes and the evil laughter, and it looks like a shrimp from the side. But I'd say we get into some fights. This first fight is against an Atron, and it is one of the easiest things to fight in this Tormentor, because naturally the Atron is slower when it's double webbed, and dual web Atron you don't see very often. And then with the big alpha of the beams, you just punch through it. You see, I was lagging quite a lot in this fight. At the start you saw it jumping, but you can see I'm 200 meters per second faster, so as soon as I'm out of his blaster range, boom, he's already dead. Super quick. This next fight is against the Tristan. He's called no PvP, but I didn't really believe that. I click out my standard keep at range, which is... oh no, I don't. I keep him at range 10 kilometers in case he's nude fit. First volley is already all the shields and a bit of the armor. And I can volley pretty much half his armor in one shot. And the drones are helping, of course, as well. Now I see that he is nuding me, but he isn't full nuding me, but only 1 nude. So I know I can get a bit closer and put more damage on him. I'm overwrapping a bit, but not too much. And he's already in hell. Need to wrap again, overheat a bit. With this ship you also have to bait tank a bit, so the enemy don't run away. You have to make them believe that they can kill you. I also try to zoom a bit more in these fights, so you can see spaceships shooting at each other. I think that's quite nice to see, instead of always just max zoomed out. But yeah, the Tristan dies. And I almost get the pot, recall drones, loot all the drones. Well, his drones, and there's the kill med. He was dual rep cap booster fit. This next fight was against a Catalyst Navy. I was pretty overconfident at this point. I thought, it can take everything. But of course a Catalyst Navy is super rough to fight. I immediately click keep at range 8.5 kilometers. Put the webs on him, start shooting. And in this fight dual web was actually not good for me, because the Catalyst was with an MWD fitted, so I was only slightly slower than him, faster than him, because he could still activate his MWD, and not, if he had been AB fitted, would have been a lot easier. But yeah, as soon as he reloaded to the other ammo, I immediately die. But still, GF mate. Next fight, this is against a Firetail. And Josvis usually flies autocannon brawl Firetails, so I just click keep at range, put all the damage on him. First volley is all his shields, and now I see that he's arty fit, and I start panicking. Oh, he's arty, so I have to orbit 500 is my first reaction, but he is dual web fit as well, so he is quicker, and I'm not really sure what to do. And I finally realize now that I have to do some manual piloting finally I stop freezing. And beam laser tracking is actually a bit better than RT tracking, so I can get a few good volleys in while he is not hitting so good. And with my armor reps a bit better staggered, I barely get the kill. Boom, there he dies. When I heard that kill man sound, I wasn't even sure if it was him or me, but it was him, and here's the kill man. It was a great fight. This next fight is against the normal Catalyst. I expected blasters, the usual, with a web or a scram. But here you see, he's pulling range from me. And I have to overheat both webs, and luckily for me, I barely get them on him. Because this is actually a rail kite Catalyst. Never seen this before, but I'm sure it's quite effective. Have to start repping, get closer. Just put maximum damage on him. I have to start orbiting because like this I won't win the DPS race. And stop the heat on the webs because I'm close to burning out one of them. We're both in hell. But I can still rep and he can't. Slowly bleeding more hell and I'm getting into orbit. He starts missing while I still apply. I also forgot my drones in this fight, I just noticed. But he dies anyway. And I warp off immediately because there's his Argos friend landing and the Kelmel, of course. In this next fight I wait inside the Plex and there was a slicer outside and then he left again, so I called him coward in local. Which worked, and here he is. I immediately spam lock and I have long range ammo loaded. I get both webs and the damage on him, all the drones, everything. And he doesn't even lock me, he just tries to get away from me. But I get a few good shots in. Now I lose the webs, and he's out of my range. I still get a few more volleys in. And now he starts shooting back. And now he's completely out of my range, and I even lose lock on him. But now he turns around, and flies straight back into me, for some reason. And with 2 more good hitting volleys, I just, boom, finish him off. I don't know why he came back in closer again, but I mean, I take it. Free slicer kill. And I even potted him. Sorry, bro. At least it was only a 2% implant. And the Kelme, standard kite slicer. Then we have the next fight. This is again against the kiter. I expected a brawl hook bill, but he is kite fit. And this was not the most spectacular fight. But I still wanted to put it in the video because it shows how good the beams can actually force off kiters. I put drones out, reload 2 long range ammo, start shooting and put the drones on him. And start manually piloting so I apply maximum damage, transmatching. I didn't do a really good job, but I still get lots of good hits in. I was hoping I could get close enough for the webs, but I didn't quite. And now you see with a few volleys in, he's already out of shields and he starts pulling range. And now he's out of my locking range and the fight went on for a bit, but nothing really happened anymore, so I cut the rest off. I finally just warped off. This next fight is against Darken in his slasher, and when I knew he was in a slasher, I basically knew I had lost, but I still wanted to try. And I manually tried to get my tracking map, but even though I had him double webbed, he had me double webbed as well, so he was quicker. Mimitar frigates are obviously always quicker. I double click in space to maximize my tracking, and I also have multi-frequency loaded for maximum tracking. And I do get a few grazing shots in, but mainly the drones are doing damage. He had no newt, because with the newt he would have killed me faster, but like this it just takes a bit longer. He has to rep a bit, get him into half ammo for a few cycles, but yeah, the slasher is just too strong. Maybe if the fight would have started at my terms and I could have kept that range at like 12 kilometers, it would have worked out, but like this I'm also out of cap, can't shoot anymore, nothing, and there's also no hope of escaping. I still panic click the warp but I just got the pot out. GF mate. This next fight is against Fexelep Vigil Fleet. I start the fight at 8 kilometers, he slides in. I spam the keep at range, lock him as fast as possible, and bam, put all the damage on him. He is shield fit, so my EM damage will shoot into his hull. And you see he's melting quick. I am as well, but I'm pulling range from him now. And the Vigil Fleet issue without range bonus doesn't have enough range to still shoot me when I'm at 8 kilometers. So here you see the damage stops coming in, and you see the missiles disappearing before they hit me. And I still overheat, hope to kill him before he warps off, but he already said in local that he noticed that I'm double web fit. So he asked the possibility to warp off at any time. He goes into armor, I drop the webs in the hopes of making his align time longer. It almost worked, got him into hull, but yeah, he warped off. GF mate. This next fight is against a Comet. I expected a really hard fight, but as it turned out he was T1 blaster fit, so it wasn't as close as it should have been. Sadly I didn't find any other Comets, surprisingly, that wanted to fight, so I only have the T1 one in here. Again you see the amazing alpha damage, 400 for the first volley, and I'm just melting through his armor. I can easily control range, so his blasters don't apply any damage, and I can save all my rep power for later if I need it. But yeah, he already goes into hull. All his armor gone. He's in half hull. A bit more, and boom, he's gone. GF, bye bye Comet. There's the kill. You see, MWD and T1 blasters, not even an Ansel armor rapper. It's a bit of a weird Comet fit. This next fight is against Mike Head in his Rifter. And last time I fought him, he kited me for 15 minutes because he was in a kite drifter, so this time I challenged him to a 1v1 in a Plex so he couldn't kite away. And he was actually in a brawl drifter this time. I put all my damage on him, tried to manually get away from him. He is quite fast, but I should be quicker with the double web. Should have heated my AB a bit more, but I don't. Now I finally realized start heating, and I also need to heat my Rebel a lot. He is in the 400mm plate fit plus Ansel, so he's super tanky, but after the armor is gone, there's not much left. I get him into hull, and seconds before I would have died, he dies. GF mate. Yeah, you see the fit. That's a strong fit, but not quite strong enough. This next fight is against a hook bill, and this is actually a brawling hook bill, which is what I wanted to fight from the beginning. Slide in, he's a bit off the beacon, which is good for me. He gets closer, I spam the webs, get them on him, and start applying my damage. Again, because I do AM damage, I will shoot into his shield hole, because shield ships have low EM resistance. You see I was lagging a lot, and suddenly I have a lot of armor damage. But he is almost out of shields already, so I am pretty confident, although it is still super close. He goes in armor, and he goes in hull, but so am I. Few more volleys, bit more heating, and boom, he dies. GF, bye bye Hookbill. And he was actually T2 fit, so it couldn't have been a better fit for him to fight me, and it still worked out, so I think this is a Hookbill killer. This next fight is one of the best matchups for the Tormentor. Because of the high alpha, I can just volley through the wraps of the incursors. You see 2 volleys, and he's already in hull. Before he can wrap, he's already bleeding a lot, and boom, he's dead. That's one of the funniest things to fight. He even had an overdrive, and yeah, he was still not quicker, and it worked out. And then this last fight was against Josvis again. This time he was in a Kestrel. And again, dual webs on him, start shooting. And yeah, You see, with every volley, I shoot about 20% of his shields away. He was doing a lot of damage to me. He had a good fit there, but it was not quite enough. He's out of shields at this point. I can still rep a lot. Not even half my answer charges I used when he's already in hull, and a bit more. And he dies. GF bye bye Castrol. Thanks for the 2 really good fights, Josvis. Appreciate it, mate. And there's the kill, man. Overall, I give this ship an 8 out of 10, because it's really a lot of fun, and I enjoyed flying it, even though I usually don't like lasers. And yeah. Okay, as always, if you have a specific ship or fit you would like to see in a video, please put it in the comments. And by the way, I just applied for the EVE Online Partner Program, and I hope to be accepted soon, so I can give away skins and ISK and all that stuff. So, keep watching. Have a good day, bye bye.